Look, I think there is a point where maybe you have to draw a line and ask yourself, is this something we really need to see? Because, as you know, police have shut down an exhibition in Sydney that has been deemed offensive.
Now, look, ladies and gentlemen, we're not taking the cheap view of this. We're all adults here, aren't we? As I said in the opening introduction, as Mick has said, we're a comedy-driven show. But events of the week have led us to question the necessity of the Sydney exhibition of Jim Henson's Muppets in Bondage Boing, which has been shut down after being labelled soccer graphic.
It is indeed. It's a hot topic. I remember a very similar controversy erupting when Miss Piggy did the spread for Playham, where, in the words of Hugh, even the pink bits were pink.
Do you remember the Pig House tried to steal the photos, but
didn't.
The hef was on top of that one.
And of course, it raised its ugly, fuzzy head again when those awful YouTube videos of Fozzie losing it at the comedy club and calling Claude the Crow a nigger, and that was just awful. And now, apparently, the entire National Gallery is just plastered with mups in the buff.
The comedian's a bear. Morgan Kelly with Why I Like Futsal. It's fun and I really enjoy it. We're talking
Muppets in Bondage Boing.
Yeah, it's the latest Jim Henson exhibition, banned in Sydney, and far be it from us to say we don't need to smell a Miss Piggy sty to know that it stinks. We've been up. We went up on the weekend, Mick, Vin and myself, and we gave it a look. We gave it a little shufty. And we come back. It's not so much a half full, half empty scenario as having the glass explode altogether. Yeah,
look, I think I can speak for all three of us here when I can say, frankly, I was shocked. That huge 9-foot photo of Kermit in a black rubber jumpsuit being whipped by a cane toad with a 7-iron. What do you say then?
Well, my nephew. Bert was in the background, or it was behind me, looking at, in that very picture was young Kermit's nephew, Robin, halfway up the Bears.
Yeah, that was pretty rough. And that weird plaster cast of Gonzo, and frankly, the only thing weirder about him is his dicks. I mean, yeah, that's why they call him Hunter S, or Hunter S and the Gonzos, as the title may be.
And as we found out on the weekend, we now know that Ralph, the boogie woogie pianist, has no need for pianist envy over any other dog, as the video of him and Janice, wrong pronunciation, Janice from the Dr. Teeth Band, shows that brown dogs do have natural rhythm. One particular exhibit that caught our eye was the still life Snuffleupagus rolling up Oscar as a spliff and using Annie as a filter.
Yes, exactly. So after that visual assault, I was just about ready to walk out. And of course, on the way out, there was the endless loop of the new Cookie Monster movie, which is him being covered with flour by assorted sailors and singing "Semen is for Cookie, that's good enough for me," to the tune of "In the Gravy." But the only thing that really made me just think, I just want to drive back to Ballarat and have a shower, was that awful video of Sam the American Eagle's awful remake of Forrest Gump called Death to the Muslims, and that repeating line, "Life is like a box of sodomy, it all tastes the same."
Just appalling. Envoys of the Dalai Lama there with Scott Burtis did the wrong thing and will copy suspension.
I suppose, look, the whole exhibition could be construed as offensive. I suppose it could. But my question to the punters and to everybody and in the studio here, is this really where this stupid country's sunk to? I mean, really, what is Parliament but a bunch of freelance chicken razzlers? Who is the Queen but Eddie from Iron Maiden without his head on? And what's Ian Hewitson but the Swedish chef with diabetes? And who is Dr. Bunsen Honeydew but Kevin Rudd with Julia Gillard as Beaker?
No, exactly. So it's all about context, isn't it? It's about context. It's about history. It's about where you were born in life. It's about what you've paid attention to in your life. It's about what you think's important, what you think is soulful, what you think is easily dismissed as not a part of attracting you. Who is Big Bird but Mao Zedong with feathers? Who is Mr. Hooper but Peter Garrett after a kneecapping?
Couldn't agree more. Who's Kyle Sandylines but H.R. Huffenpoof? Who is Brendan Nelson but that Muppet?
Who is Wilson Ironbar Tucky but animal without the self-respect? But I've got to admit, from my auntie to my niece, the one thing I was truly appalled at was the still life of Elmo being raped by Harry the Monster. I never knew he had so much in him.
I agree, Len. But you know, ultimately it is good to live in a country where art has a certain standard of decency, because reading here in the program, the next stop for the exhibition is Amsterdam. And apparently once all the paintings arrive there, at customs, they'll be doused liberally with turpentine to reveal nothing less than a bunch of hands. Yep, and all the hash soup in the world isn't going to make that interesting.
Ladies and gentlemen, my socks feel dirty.